a bright and sunny or a rainy day, I can listen to Rene. Topics of the day: why sex don't match the love, our relationship sucks, why the boys play, experience immaturity, politics and currency games, economics. Spotify it, you can find it. Sign of the times for the deaf, dumb and blind. Don't miss it. Call the number one, state your name and what's your interest. Hey Rene.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the K Rene Show podcast. I am your girl, K Rene, and I am here to give you everything that you're looking for under the sun. Topics ranging from romance to love to parenting to sex to whatever I decide I want to talk about. That is what my show is all about. So if this is your first time joining the show, I want to welcome you and your listening ears because you are in for a treat. Now, I have been a little quiet lately, but I've had a lot going on in my life. So just to kind of give you a little background of everything that's been an issue, or not more so an issue, but it's been hindering and keeping me away from doing my show lately. And believe it or not, I almost quit. Yeah, believe it or not. Yes, K Rene's show was almost no longer anything a part of the podcast world. But I had to kind of get myself together and basically just decide, what is important and what is not. And I know I've stressed it before in many of my shows, and I let things get to the best of me, shall I say. And I, had to remember the reality of what I had taught and told you all a while back is to never let the numbers interfere with your dreams. And I have been going through a little bit of a grieving process. My grandmother passed away on the 27th of July, and when you're raised by grandparents, they are your parents, they become your parents, and my grandmother and my grandfather were my mother and my father, and I no longer have them. And I did everything I had to do, as far as arrangements and keeping myself very strong, and went through the process of getting everything planned out. And, even when I came back from out of state, we had to take her to South Carolina. That's where she's from. So that's where we had the service. I had to come back, of course, to Maryland. And I still had other stuff I had to do here to tie up loose ends and, be a mother. And just still being strong and holding it together. And, I found myself being strong, but also kind of feeling very sad and, trying to eat and wanting to eat, but then start eating and then you don't want food anymore. You don't want what it is that you're eating. Very tired, feeling depressed. Maybe every couple of hours I'll just break down and start crying. And I know my grandmother had a wonderful life. She lived a full life. She was 102. And, me taking care of my grandparents when they really got up in age and got sick, they found that I would be the responsible one and the strong one. And I was, and I am. But now it's like, I have no parent figure, and I have no one, that's looking over me to say they're proud of me and everything that I'm doing. And, they love me. And so now reality has set in, and I am the last adult left. And that's a whole nother show, because I don't really want to get into my parents today. But yes, I am the only adult that is left. But anyways, I made sure my son had a great birthday, which he turned the big 4. And my birthday is coming up in the next couple of weeks. And you already know I've been preaching it for show after show. I will be 40. So I'm looking forward to, as far as reaching a milestone and looking back at everything that, I've done in my life within the last 20 years, which I can now evenly say a number of 20 years, and experiences and letdowns and come-ups and setbacks and everything, so I'm very grateful, and I really feel blessed to be able to be here, and hopefully I can continue with life to make sure to continue to keep raising this wonderful little boy that I have, which is just smart and very unique, and I'm sure he's going to do great things. Anywho, like I said, I'm back, and just want you to be patient with me through this process and also through this topic. So if you want to follow me, you can do so. I'm on IG at _K Rene Show, or you can join my media page, which is K Rene Show, no underscore. And of course, Rene is spelled Rene, and I would love to have you as a follower, and I love to follow people back. You want to work on something within the future to come, please email me at kreneshow@gmail.com. And if you want to follow me on Facebook, I'm there as well as Kelly Rene, and that is, of course, Kelly with a Y. And you can also jump over to my website at kreneshow.wixsite.com/KReneShow. All right, so hopefully, you guys will enjoy some of the past episodes. If you get a chance, you can go over there. You can definitely see or listen, shall I say listen, not see. I don't have any videos, but you can definitely check me out on different platforms as far as Spotify, Spreaker, and what else am I on? I'm on everything. iPod or Apple, iTunes, I'm there as well. iHeartRadio, you Google me and you'll find it. You look through it, I'm there, and hopefully, like I said, you can check out some of the past episodes if you are new to the show. So, the last topic that I was dealing or talking to you all about was Here's to You 40, and I did it on the perspective on the woman's side. So, I decided I should definitely have a part 2. And I have my part 2, which my part 2 is today. And it's Here's to You 40 part 2. But this one is going to be for the men. So here's the thing. I want to let you know that I'm welcoming all feedback, comments. I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you thought about the show once you listen. And, please, by all means, if it's something that you would like for me to address as a topic, then I would love to hear from you. So please reach out to me on any of my social media platforms that I have basically, just told you about. So with that being said, I am going to... Yeah, got a new sound. See, I didn't want to do the bell anymore. See, I usually ring a bell. And ringing the bell would basically state that class is in session. But I found a new effect, and I want to use this one because I think everything that I go into it's all based off of mystery and things that we want to, basically get into or we're curious about. So that is my new go to get my class in session. So let's just get started, shall we? Yes, we shall. So men, if you didn't get a chance, you can also go back and you can listen to the previous podcast. I told y'all, work with me. I need time. The podcast I did previous to this, and it was Here's to You 40, and that is for women, and especially if you're married or you have a girlfriend and you want to have a better understanding on what she may be facing as she approaches 40, or if she's 40 now, what she may be going through, and you may have a better understanding so you can help and assist in the things that she needs your help with. So when it comes to women, we had a lot more issues as opposed to men, but of course, like why would you think any different? We're women. We handle more things than men do, and therefore it seems like, to me, they always get the easy way out, or they always get, of course, I think a discount on problems, like meaning they don't experience as many problems and issues in life that we have to deal with as women. So men, I want to cover basically 6 things that you need to watch out for as you are starting to approach 40, or you're in your 40s, you just turned 40. These are some things that you really want to make sure that you keep a check on, and if it's something that you're questioning, definitely don't let anything go as far as too long. Just like a car, we let that small problem turn into a bigger problem, which then costs more money. So if you have had exposure to sun over the years, which we all have, like every human, you may start to see some of the effects, some wrinkles, some age spots, maybe a few broken blood vessels around the nose or the cheeks. Now, for some men, their 40s are the first time that they might consider cosmetic treatments to improve their facial appearance. According to Dr. Matthew Avram, which is the director of dermatology, laser, and cosmetic center at Massachusetts General Hospital, beyond the retinoids, the other thing that guys do is laser treatments, and it depends on what they want to have treated, but lasers tend to be effective and safe treatments that help improve the appearance of sun damage and aging skin. Now, a lot of people, especially black people, people of color, they always feel as though, they can't get skin cancer, or, from the sun. We're already dark. And there are things that you should use as a person of color to protect your skin, because, again, you're not excluded just because your skin is dark, darling. You still have to protect your skin, but you got to be careful of the products that you use, because some of the products that you use as a person of color is not always made for our skin tone, texture, etc., nor the type. So do your research and make sure that you get something that may actually be more on a natural base. Okay? You'll thank me later. Yes, you will. Now, as far as the colon, if you experience pain and changes in your bowel habits or bleeding, definitely go see a doctor right away. It's always an issue to try to get a man to eat vegetables and, have lots and enough fiber and just taking a daily vitamin. And I'm speaking of my son, who's 4, because it's a fight at times, things he used to eat, he, don't eat it no more. And so I think with men, they're more of like the meat and potato type of person, but some are actually on a health kick, and I'm not going to knock all of you out there, but definitely don't play with the colon. All right. That's something that needs to be checked out ASAP. Your heart, that's another one. You work a lot. Work is competitive no matter your line. Sometimes you work at night and after you get home at the kitchen table. So that's if you're not helping your children with homework, or if you're not taking out the garbage or falling asleep watching some third-rate NBA team play a second-rate NBA team, and then waking up and doing it all over again. So the problem here is that, one of the problems here is that you're not exercising. And you simply don't have the time, obviously. But so you're getting a little softer, a little heavier. Well, the issue there is your heart has to work now a lot harder. And your blood pressure can go up. And your cholesterol can go up. Because there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Yes, definitely make sure you're getting your physicals. And suddenly, the subtle intimidations, I'm so sorry, I butchered all of that up, of the heart diseases are appearing in your chest, and they may not manifest themselves for another 20 years, but they are there. So because you're not exercising, you need to get up, exercise. You got to do a little bit more work. I'm telling you right now, the 20 pounds, the 5 pounds, the 10 pounds that was easy to lose when we were younger because our metabolism was popping and moving a lot faster, they have also taken a break within keeping up on their speed on our end of the bargain that we told them to keep it moving so we can burn it off. So now it's going to take a lot more work, a lot more time, a lot more dedication. And that's why you need to really start getting into the habit and the thought process of wanting to eat right, wanting to eat healthy, and wanting to eat better. Okay, and I'm not saying that vegan and plant-based is the kick, but it seems like that's where a lot of people are starting to migrate because they can't even just trust the foods we're buying. And I was talking to somebody the other day when they were saying, the people years ago back then, like within my grandmother's generation, they, lived long and, they were healthy. And yeah, they were, because look at how the foods were processed back then, the vegetables. Now, every other week, we're looking at news talking about there's a certain fruit or vegetable we can't eat because it's going to cause this or it's contaminated with that. And so, yeah, a lot of us are now starting to grow our own stuff in the back, like me. Garden and it's just like I trust my own stuff because it's planted and I picked it and I washed it and there's nothing in it. There's no chemicals. Nobody treated over top of my crops. But we don't have the same foods anymore, and that's why a lot of people are coming with more type 1 diabetes and heart disease, all of these things because of the processed foods that we have, especially in our lives on a regular basis. Okay, so again, we got to do better. Yes, we do. All right, the musculoskeletal system. Now, it's a myth that 40 is a doomsday birthday, says Dr. Vonda Wright, an orthopedic surgeon at the University of Pittsburgh. Your muscle mass does not decrease if you consistently work out at a high level. We decrease in athletic prowess because we stop training hard. If we feel weaker, we're failing our bodies. Our bodies are not failing us. I think the median age of male runners in this country actually is 43. And they're the ones out there doing personal bests in triathlons. Yeah, they are. Go do some triathlons, men. Space out and vary your activities. If you work out like crazy on Monday, on Tuesday, maybe you'll do yoga or Pilates. Do it just as intensely, but let the parts of your body you used the day before rest. And that is said by Dr. Wright. Another thing that we have to be mindful of, which I have an appointment coming up next month, again, eyes. The eyes. Even if you have no reason to think your eyes are anything less than perfect, it's generally recommended that you get your first comprehensive eye exam at the age of 40. We screen for things that are asymptomatic, says Dr. Andrew Sachat, Director of Clinical Research and Chairman at the Cleveland Clinic's Cole Eye Institute. Chief among them is glaucoma. And there are also diabetic eye problems. If you have diabetes, you should have an annual eye exam. And screening for macular degeneration, which starts out asymptomatic. And again, there are treatments for these things, but you need to know basically that they're happening. So if you neglect going to eye doctors, your physical exams yearly, the dentist every 6 months, I don't know what you expect to keep for the rest of your life past the age of 40. And men, I know you all are not great at keeping up with appointments, making your own appointments. That's why some of y'all have a wife now, because y'all need help in that department to keep you on track. Because if it wasn't for the wife, you might not still be looking as great as you may look right now. Okay. Maintenance. There are some pre-glaucoma treatments also if a screening does reveal that you're at risk. And the best thing that you can do at this age is protect your eyes. And anytime there's a danger of something flying into your eye, like weed whacking, playing racquetball, or using a table saw, skeet shooting at whatever, wear safety goggles. If you enjoy vision, that is. Obviously, if you don't, then, do everything at high risk. And here's a bonus one. Blood pressure happens for 3 reasons. So watch your blood pressure. The force of the contraction of the heart, the amount of resistance you have in the arteries. The tighter the arteries, the higher the blood pressure. The same way blowing into a balloon the first time is harder than blowing into it in like the third or fourth time after, and the amount of fluid in the system. So if the heart muscle has to beat more times a minute to achieve the same workload, the muscle gets weaker. And the same way biceps do if you don't use them. Another reason that we get tight arteries is that we're stressed all the time. We're on symptomatic overload, and we get up to work in the morning and we don't stop till the night, or we have too much salt in our food, too much sodium. And those are the reasons that blood pressure happens. And how do we modify that? Well, exercise your heart more. Do that meditation. Meditating can reduce blood hypertension, and 80% of people who do it, 80%. That's a lot of percentage, and that's a lot of help that's needed. So think about that, men. 6 things, and I gave you a bonus, more so within. So yeah, the blood pressure, definitely something that you have to be very mindful of, right? Okay. Now let's keep it a little fun, shall we? We should, because that's what I want to do. Now, I talked about all the things that you should be paying attention to and all the things that are very important that you should be paying attention to. But let's talk about the things that every man should know by the age of 40. Okay? Because it's very important. So let's start, shall we? Yes. Number 1. You should never try solo karaoke. Yes. It seems like a good idea at the time, but standing on a stage and doing an overly earnest rendition of She's Like the Wind? Nah, it's not good. And especially if you make the wrong decision to pick like a R. Kelly song, like Vibe. Oh, that was R. Kelly in a public announcement. My bad. Honey Love, things of that. No, don't do that. It's going to go one way, and that's bad. If you absolutely insist, though, on taking part, try to restrict yourself to shouting your way through the loud, drunken chorus. Safety in numbers, please. Get you a buddy or something, go up there. Number 2, carrying on drinking is always a bad idea. When you lived in a world without consequences, carrying on, driving, drinking on a weeknight, it was all good fun. But now, the only good idea is if basically for you, if you like sobbing inconsolably in the work bogs of the next day, then that's you. I would not recommend that you continue to keep doing the things that you used to do. Again, like, let's go back to that number 20 years ago. Yeah, you're gonna have to stop that. But see, that's why, again, women are more mature than men, and we mature a lot faster than men. So it's going to take y'all probably maybe to 50 to get that in your head. Number 3, carrying on sleeping is always a good idea. Sleep is something worth cherishing. Nothing tightens your trousers like the prospect of a gentle afternoon doze. Imagine owning a hammock. Yes. Number 4, sheds make a fine getaway. Traditionally used for storing fishing tackle. Grot mags, Golden Virginia, and moonshine. Now sheds can do anything. You can even have an office in there where you can watch art house movies in peace. Or make it like your little man shed, man cave. Deck it out the way that you want to deck it out. But it's best that you have something to have as an outlet for peace of mind. Definitely. Number 5, your career is a fluid concept. You imagined a simple ladder. What you got was a greasy pole made of jelly. Number 6, you almost definitely won't make it as a professional sportsman unless you choose something low impact and preferably a city downy, like a chess, or if it's cards, if that is a sport, then that's where you're gonna fit in. Other than that, not gonna be on ESPN, so let that go. Number 7, your friendship circle should never reach double figures. And by all means, have as many Facebook and IG friends and followers as you want. But when it comes to socializing in real life, Just see the same two people over and over again on a loop. It makes your life much more easier. Yep. Number 8. Only certain trainers will do. You can still wear trainers, but nothing too jazzy. You know what I mean? Fashion has left you flailing in the ocean while it chugs away like a steamboat, silhouetted by the setting sun. You have to accept it. Okay. Number 11. Pubs serve other drinks that aren't beer. Choose something different. There was a time when ordering wine in a pub would be frowned upon, but now it makes you look sophisticated, mysterious, and sexy, unless you ask for a lemonade spritzer. And that's different. And that's not going to probably make you look sexy. Emblazoned t-shirts aren't for you. No, they're not. Number 10. There's not a slogan in the world that you need across your chest. No, you don't. Let those go. If you can't let them go, keep them, but sleep in them. Number 11. You definitely don't know any slang. Don't chance your arm at saying any of it. Either it won't work. You'll just come across as the polar opposite of super wickedly fresh. And that's stupid. 12. Fusion cooking doesn't come naturally unless you were schooled under the tutelage of Heston Blumenthal. Ignore any flashbulbs exploding over your head when you look in the fridge. Stick with traditional pasta dishes and bangers and mash. I'm sorry, burgers. My bad. Burgers. 13. You're not going to out-succeed your parents. You're not. No offense, but your ancestors are looking down on you right now, slowly shaking their head. SMFH. While you attempt to climb Everest in roller skates and a boob tube. Okay, number 14. There's no place in your life for hairstyles. You should be in the barbers. You should be in the barber shouldn't be in there for no longer than 15 minutes. And, just stick to your original. That's it. If you're in there longer than that, you're getting it all wrong. Number 15. There's little room for reading fiction. At some stage in your 30s, the disruptive voice in your head started clanging pans and yelling, "They're making it up." Yep, let that go. Number 16. A greeting is only as awkward as you make it. You shouldn't be lost at sea between a handshake or a hug, or nervously kissing someone's ear. For girls, go European, and for men, go Yorkshireman. Alright, number 17, you need to eat better. We just talked about that. The days when you could put your face in a bucket of cheeseburgers and start grunting are long gone. If you did that now, you'd die. You would die. Yes, you would die. Because we just talked about blood pressure too. Number 18, exercise is absolutely essential. You know now that it takes a little bit more work, okay? So that you can look slightly fat. Not like overly fat, but it's just going to take a little bit more work just so you can look slightly fat. Okay? And a lot of people have been putting out there in the magazines that, a lot of women this year have become a fan of the dad bod. Like they think that's sexy. Okay. To each his own. Number 19. You will never be 100% secure in anything. You're not. So you're not. And number 20. Sex is great in moderation and done traditionally. And the sweaty tantric marathons and pools of moonlight, the elaborate role play of good cop, bad cop, horny cop, all behind you now, buddy. Keep it missionary and occasional. Listen, I'm going to stop right there for the day. Hope you all basically enjoyed the show as best as you could. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate all of that. Thank you for the love and the support. It's good to be back. I'm glad I was able to bless you all today with a new episode. And again, if you'd like to follow me, please do so on IG at _K Rene, or you can go over to my media page at K Rene. And also follow me on Facebook at Kelly Rene. That's Kelly with a Y, Rene. And listen, I would love to hear from you all. Hit me up. Email me at kreneshow@gmail.com. Until then, have a blessed day and have a great week to come. I'm out of here. Bye.